Saving 101, a video by Karthik. This is Garrett, a teenager working a job at a coffee shop after school. Garrett just received his first paycheck. He's about to splurge on a new pair of sneakers. But before he does that, let's give him a taste of financial literacy. If we're being real here, Garrett doesn't need new Jordans immediately, but buying them isn't out of the question. Now just isn't the right time. So if he shouldn't spend immediately, what should Garrett do? The answer is to save. But that's not very exciting, is it? On the contrary, if you save, you'll be swimming in cash down the line. So first and foremost, even if Garrett wanted to save, how does he do it? The simple answer comes with a ratio, 50 to 30 to 20. In other words, Garrett should allocate about 50% of his paycheck to daily expenditures, 30% to discretionary spending, or spending on things he wants, and 20% to his savings. To keep track of all of these numbers, Garrett should set up a simple budget. It doesn't have to be complicated. He just needs to jot down what he's spending money on. Now comes the real deal. Garrett needs to find a way to save, but there's a much better way for him to do it than leaving paper money lying around in his house. He should set up a bank account to keep his money secure. He has two primary options. He can either set up a savings account or a checking account. If he uses a checking account, he can write checks to buy goods, retrieving the money from his account. Savings accounts are geared towards saving rather than spending. Why would he do either? Because if he puts his money in a bank account, he can actually make money. Every bank offers a set interest rate for storing money on their premises. That interest rate tells you how much money you'll receive for keeping your money at the bank, so the higher the interest rate, the better for Garrett. Naturally, savings accounts tend to have higher rates than checking accounts, as savings accounts are explicitly aimed at storing cash. On the other hand, there are often limits on how much you can withdraw from savings accounts, which explains why savings accounts aren't always the best option for people. If Garrett wants to generate interest even faster, he could opt for a certificate of deposit, or CD. With a CD, he would choose a certain amount of time to save for, and he'd enjoy a comparatively high interest rate for those savings. The flip side is that he wouldn't be able to withdraw money as easily, not even as easily as with savings accounts. Finally, let's take a look at how interest works. When you deposit money into a bank account or CD, banks lend your money out to other people, which allows the banks to generate revenue. Interest is the way that banks reward you, as it was your dollars that permitted them to lend in the first place. Banks pay interest daily, monthly, quarterly, yearly, etc. If you choose to keep your interest in your bank account, you will benefit from what's known as compounding. Basically, the interest you earn is added to the amount you already have in your account. So when interest is recalculated, it'll be based on a higher amount. This makes your account balance grow at an increasing rate. Understanding the power of interest, Garrett just put $50 into a savings account that offers him 5% interest annually. Over the course of a year, Garrett would earn $2.50 without lifting a finger. Now, let's throw in the idea of compounding. If Garrett keeps the original $50 plus the interest in his account for 5 years, he'll make roughly $14 extra rather than just the extra $12.50 that would come without compounding. But Garrett's smarter than that. He won't just save those $50 and stop saving. Instead, he'll put $50 into his account every year for the next 5 years. The results are incredible. Though he's only put $250 into his account, he ends up with nearly $300. In 15 years, he'd have made roughly $400 extra in interest. The longer Garrett saves, the more money he'll make. Similarly, the larger the amount he deposits into his bank account, the faster his savings will grow. And keep in mind, CDs often earn more interest than savings accounts, making them an excellent option for Garrett, who doesn't need new Jordans right away. One more note, since most banks don't calculate interest yearly, instead choosing to do so daily, the annual interest rate isn't an accurate reflection of how much money Garrett would make. That's an issue because the more times Garrett's money is compounded, the faster his cash will grow. So daily compounding is much more advantageous compared to yearly compounding. The annual percentage yield, or APY, is a figure provided by banks that includes the extra dollars that come from compounding. giving Garrett a more exact estimate of how much money his savings would generate. And that'll certainly be a pleasing estimate. Compounding ensures that he'll make more than he thinks at first glance. Thanks for watching. Next time, I hope you'll follow Garrett's example and choose to save. Even by saving a few dollars for several years, your future self can afford so much more. Karthik out.